But yes.
Did you have a good time playing that evil internal revenue service man on?
I had a great time. Yeah, that was on Civil Wars.
You gave me nightmares.
David has a problem with taxes. It was great fun. I just finished doing my last episode of Brooklyn Bridge, and I went straight into Civil Wars. And the Bot School people, God bless them, have hired me quite a bit. So it was a great character. It was much... I understand taxes actually quite well. I've offered to help David, and I have helped Arena with taxes. Arena came to me on April the 15th last year and said, can we do something about my taxes? So it was great fun. Thank you. Does everyone know it's going to be a new Star Trek? And it's true, you work with your females. Right, I didn't know this. Ritch found out what Ferengi means.
It's Malaysian for foreigner.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, I've decided what I should have brought to the con. That was earlier, right? I should have brought a dentist. I'm having this problem. And it's hurting like crazy, and I just wanted to get that. Yeah, it really is. As a matter of fact, I think it's bleeding. Yeah. Is it all
No, that's bad.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, you know.
Aspirin's bad.
Fighting over claims.
Warm salt water.
Yeah.
Is there a doctor in the house?
So that's what I wish I would have brought. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Okay. On the aisle. Yeah, get it. I was kind of on the fast track toward law school when I started. Got a lawyer in the back. When acting happened to me, so that's probably what I would have wound up doing. I can't decide whether or not I would have actually made it through law school or not. You know, I was a very good student, but I don't know if I would have really liked it. At this point, I think about being a lawyer, and I don't think so. Because of my toothache.
Jackson, good evening. This is Tuesday night at the Alpha. This is KUTFL, the voice of the university. My first degree was in communications at the University of Texas, and I thought at that time I would probably go into broadcasting, which I did. I won an award about 1965 from the Texas Association of Broadcasters for a promo for people to mail in to get hurricane tracking charts. During the voice of Long John Silver saying, "Hard, wish I got that tracking chart." In hindsight, which we all have, of course, what we wish to be had done, and what I often said I do, for many years of my life said that I wish I had followed, I didn't know enough about at the time, was I wish I had become a cultural anthropologist, because I'm extremely interested in third world country cultures and some simpler culture, and I've traveled all over the world visiting various simpler cultures. I've also admitted in the past 2 or 3 years that had I chosen to do that, had become a cultural, is there any cultural anthropologist in the house? My little man's a cultural anthropologist. What do you think about that? Over there? You got one, a real one? Great, great. What I probably would have said about now, if I had...
That's a job.
If I had done that, I'd probably somebody be asking me this at some, seminar somewhere, and I'd say, "Oh God," I said, "I wish to God I'd become an actor when I had the chance." Because I'm so sick of recording everybody's grandparents and recording their native tongues and eating crud in the jungle and living in tents. So hindsight is always better, but that is a great avocation of mine that I followed for many, many years.
Center guard for the Lakers.
Okay, I'm going to take my aspirin.
He's going to take his malady. Remedy, right? I was an English teacher too at one time.
The raccoon was really interesting to work with because Contrary to popular opinion, you cannot train a raccoon. And they can only be led around by food, pieces of food. They'll go to where there's food. So you can sort of put a grape here and a marshmallow there. And they like to chew and bite. And so in the fever episode, I was stabbed by Cullen and I had the blood all over me. And Tom Wright, the director, wanted Arthur to crawl up on me. And I said, fine. And then he started chewing, because the blood is made of sweet stuff, corn syrup. So he started chewing, and I was just waiting for them to call cut. And he was called cut. He was called cut. He finally did before we got back. But they had to use, usually there would be 3 raccoons there, because you kind of keep a friendly raccoon, a nasty raccoon, and a raccoon to be outside, because raccoons like to go, hey, are there any raccoons out there? And the raccoon doesn't go, yo, and they get upset. So there are always 3 around. And also Arthur disappeared from the middle of some of the shows. He was gone for quite a while. It's because he was on strike. Absolutely. During the Teamster strike, animal wranglers are Teamsters in the film business. And so Arthur was unavailable. We could talk about it, but we couldn't.
I wanted more salary, you know.
Yeah. Arthur wanted more salary and a better dental plan.
Everybody take an episode.
Did you keep those same 3 raccoons?
Hmm?
Did you keep the same 3 raccoons that they gave off for the other raccoons?
No. They may have been, but they never got familiar. You know, and the first day I was like, oh great, raccoons, I have a real way with animals, you know. And the trainers were like, yeah, well, nobody has a way with raccoons.
There's another question.
Yes, I do. Just to tag into that, which some of you may not realize, is that I took Roy and Kate to treat 7 or 8 live raccoons. The cabin I lived at up in the mountains had raccoons living under the house, and they'd wake me up at night screaming and throwing things. And I would trap them in live Palomar animal traps where they're going for some peanut butter and the gate slams behind them. Then I would call Roy up and say, "Coon man!" knock at the door. And he had a little house, a little nest built down with a picture window where they sit all night and watch the animals come in and eat the live feed. By the way, on that note, Roy's down in Jamaica now, I believe, doing his new series. But for those of you who don't know it, Kate broke her ankle a few weeks ago in France. She was walking across the lawn, broke it very severely. She's recuperating at son-in-law's, Edward Woodward's in Cornwall right now. But she's about to have another operation on it. She's going through some pretty rough time, and I'm sure she could use your thoughts.
I forgot the name of the movie, but where you played a weasel.
Oh, right. Arena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were a wonderful weasel.
Yeah, it's Charlie Band. The question is, what's the question?
How did you feel playing a weasel?
Oh, okay. The question is, how did I feel? I played, it's a film out on videotape called Arena, which is produced by a band called Charlie Band, who was the same band that Ritch was just talking about earlier, who hired Jay and Ritch to do the film that they've just done. Yeah, Roy also worked for Charlie Band. I don't remember. I remember that, well, I'll tell you that later. Anyway, I did this. That's interesting. This happened during the first season of Beauty and the Beast. I did this picture. Right. It's your turn now. I spent 3 months in Italy during the first season of Brooklyn Bridge, sorry, they all start with B&B. Beauty and the Beast. Right. Shades of Grey was your first episode. Okay. Between Shades of Grey and, help me here, the visit down to Paracelsus. Thank you. It was a span of 3 months. And what happened was after I shot Shades of, I had already signed to do Arena, which was a 4-hour makeup job for 3 months, comparable to what Ron went through. Let's make this very quick, Armin. My wife is saying to me, Armin, just wrap it up. She's not here, but I can hear her.